All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, guys. We'd like to welcome you to the show. This is your host of the evening, DJ Just J with Just Dimes ENT, your humble host of The Soda You Dig. This is the Black Purge Committee. As you guys know, we advocate for children first here. So what exactly does that mean? We want to separate from the trash of our community, and I think that we all should do that. We shouldn't actually participate or let people think that we are a part of the negativity in our community. So what we have to do is we have to speak out against those things, speak out against injustices, and we need to come together and do that as a unit. And I think that the more that we do that, the better things will get, right? So what I want to do is I want to talk about a story. It's going to be a story that you guys may or may not be able to digest well, but if you guys are not familiar with my content, we speak very harshly against criminals and people that are doing illegal things. So if you guys can't handle that, all I ask for you to do is just hit that red X in the top right corner of my video, unsubscribe, do whatever you need to do, but just leave the channel. There is no need to flaggy my videos. So please don't flag my videos, just exit my channel. For everybody else that's ready for the show to start, guys, here we go. Let me say hi to Takara Galaxy, Leroy Honeycutt, and Angel Honeycutt, the husband and wife team that always are here to support from St. Louis in the building, reporting for duty. Thank you guys so much. Here's the story. This came out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. Now, there is a teen that is facing murder charges stemming from a fatal drive-by shooting of a 12-year-old boy in Connecticut outside of his own home. So, yes, you guys heard that right. The Bridgeport Police Chief Armando Perez confirmed Monday to the Connecticut Post that the 18-year-old gentleman in this case, and let me see if I can get his face up on the screen for you guys real quick, so you guys can know exactly who we're talking about. It'll only take a moment, maybe more. I have a lot of pictures, because we're going to pause it on his face as soon as we get there. This gentleman right here is 18-year-old Tajay Chambers. His name is spelled T-A-J-A-Y Chambers, C-H-A-M-B-E-R-S. He has been charged with murder with special circumstances, carrying a pistol without a permit, and second-degree larceny and risk of injury to a child. 18-year-old Tajay Chambers. He looks like he crawled out of a chamber. What a weird-looking individual, but nonetheless, let's talk about him. Police in Connecticut have arrested him. He's an undocumented immigrant from Jamaica, and they got him on murder charges related to the shooting death of an innocent 12-year-old boy a week before Christmas. Bridgeport Police Chief Armando Perez on Monday announced the charges against Tajay Chambers stemming from the December 18th death of this young man outside of his family's home on Willow Street. Now, Chambers has been charged with murder. He's been charged with murder with special circumstances, which is the use of a firearm during the commission of a felony, illegal possession of a firearm without a permit, risk of injury to a child, reckless endangerment, and larceny. All of that kind of stuff. He's very handsome. Lord have mercy. We will. We're going to take our pen. We're going to bookmark that because I don't know, because I can't lie. That comment kind of disturbs me a little bit, because I know that our sisters tend to have an affinity for thugs and jailbirds and stuff like that. Am I wrong for saying that? I don't know what's so attractive about a lawbreaker, a criminal, a murderer, a freaking thug. Right? We'll come back to that. So here we go. 3 juveniles who the police say were with Chambers that night, they range at the ages of 12 years old, 14 years old, and 16 years old. The three people that were with this 18-year-old were ages 12, 14, and 16, and they are facing charges of conspiracy to commit murder, carrying a pistol or revolver without a felony, and larceny. The blind leading the blind. You have these fatherless teenage children, these fatherless teenage kids. And I tell you guys that this is where the violence stems, because these young children do not have any representatives in the house, any role models that they should fall after, especially with their DNA fathers. So what do? They end up joining gangs and joining thugs, and they end up being their fathers and their mentors. As you guys know, I've talked about this before. There was a sister that I had on my show a few months ago, and she was from California, and she talked about how she didn't know that there was this creation of gangs that stem from these young men not having role models in their life, not having their fathers in their life. And I told her, I'm just like, they've done documentaries about this stuff, about how gangs started and how gangs continue to be perpetuated. Because you do not have these children, these young boys, in the homes and finding value in themselves. Where they find this value is because whenever they have the DNA biological father in the home, that's generally where they're going to start to find the value in themselves. If they don't have that value in themselves, then they're going to project that out on the rest of the world. They're not going to see any value on your family, on your friends, on your daughters, on your property, on the government, to businesses or any other place. Because they don't see any value in themselves, so they're not going to see any value in anything else. This is where this entire cycle continues to keep going. And as long as we continue to keep thinking that, well, we have at least a couple of examples of where mothers have raised successful men, but the tens of thousands we continue to lose every single day, as long as we continue to think that that's better, that's a better option as opposed to having marriages and having families, then we're going to continue to lose. There's no reason going into 2019 why any woman should be getting pregnant and having children without someone she's not married to. Your body, your choice, your responsibility. Shout out to my sisters that know that they have an innate gift. And that gift is the gift of life. Treasure that gift and use it in a way that is productive. Meaning, if that man is not willing to have a marriage with you, then you probably shouldn't be having any children by that man. So what you're looking at is potentially 5 lives that are lost in this story, which is the guy, the 18-year-old Tajay in this story, Tajay Chambers, the 3 other basically teenagers that he had with him, plus the one that they murdered. And guess what? These are 5 black men that are all going to lose their lives either to the jail or to the grave. Everybody catch that? Hit that thumbs up. It'll share the show and let other people know that we're live. Please hit the thumbs up if you're coming into my show, if you have not already done so. There's no reason why everybody coming in shouldn't at least be able to hit the thumbs up. We've only had 3 people that have donated to the show, and I'm going to say thank you to Makeup Masterpiece by Megan for that last donation. 3 people donated, but everybody else won't hit the thumbs up. Please, come on, guys. Help me out. Help me out. Help me out. Now, according to the police at 9 p.m. on December the 18th, Clinton Howell was returning home. And let me see if I can get him up on the screen so you guys can know the young man that I'm actually talking about that lost his life in this story. This is him. This is 12-year-old Clinton Howell. According to the police, on December the 18th at 9 p.m., want you to take note of that. At 9 p.m., Howell was returning home from getting snacks at a convenience store around the corner when Chambers opened fire, which ended up causing Clinton to be shot and killed. Does anybody see anything wrong with that? For the people that are watching this show live and for the people that watch this on the replay, you guys can tell me what you guys think in the comments section. For the people that are watching this live right now, I'm going to read that again, and I want you guys to tell me, what do you see wrong with that? At 9 p.m. on December the 18th, Howell was returning home from getting snacks at a convenience store around the corner when he was shot. December the 18th would have been a Tuesday. Darcy Ann said 12 years old out that late. That's one problem, yes. Also, for most children, that would have been a school day. Why is the baby buying snacks at 9 p.m.? Why are his parents not taking him if he needs to get snacks that bad? Hashtag, where is his father? Where is the mom? Where's the caretaker? Did he just go on his own? Did they just put money in his pocket and just send him on his way? Is this a normal thing for him to be out after 9 p.m.? And most of you guys know that this looks like a community that's not a, it looks like a impoverished community. I'm sorry, it does. At 9 p.m., my kid is in bed. My daughter is 11 years old. She's in bed. She's only a year younger than him. And he went alone on a school night. You guys are asking great questions. Some people say, did the mother not already cook before that or during that period? It's another good point. A lot of good questions in the chat, okay? Let's keep going. Investigators say Howell was an innocent bystander, not Chambers' intended target, who was the victim's older cousin. So what does that mean when they talk about the victim's older cousin? That also means that there are other family members that all live within this same vicinity, or at least they were there. I could be wrong, but a lot of you guys know that brothers, sisters, cousins, a lot of those people end up living in the same areas, especially in these impoverished communities. So what does that mean? That means what we end up doing is we end up pair bonding with people that potentially could be related to us. As you guys know, that's actually a bad thing, right? We'll talk about that another time. Chambers and his alleged co-conspirators were driving a stolen car when they got into an argument with some people walking along Willow Street. Among them was Howell's relative. The victim's cousin allegedly fired a pellet gun at Chambers' car. I definitely want to see how they follow up with that part. They allegedly fired a pellet gun at Chambers' car, which should also be illegal. The 18-year-old drove off and then returned with a real gun, a pistol, and allegedly opened fire on the cousin, but instead struck Howell as he was standing on the front porch of his home. He was standing, this young man, this child, this baby, at 9 o'clock p.m. was standing on the front porch at 9 p.m. after his cousin. I want to know why his cousin is not being investigated. After his cousin took a pellet gun and shot a pellet gun at someone's car. In this case, it was a stolen car that they were in over an argument. His cousin shot a pellet gun after an argument they returned with a real gun to try to shoot him for shooting at them, and ended up killing this young man who was standing out on the front porch at 9 p.m. on a school day. School was not out until Friday. Friday was the last day of school before the break, which would have been the 21st. This happened on the 18th, which was a Tuesday, a school night. It's 9 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? Of course, that's illegal to fire a pellet gun at a car. That's absolutely right. There was a lot of stuff that is wrong with this story. But this is what you guys are never going to get from the news. That's why people come here and come to find out what our insight is. We have 182 people watching. Please hit the thumbs up. We should have over 200 people in the building, so please hit that thumbs up. This is the stuff that the police are not going to point out. This is the stuff that the government is not going to show us. This is the stuff that the news is never going to show you. We have to start being responsible. Well, Shanice, obviously I'll get flagged for that. We can't even talk about that point, but it's a point I understand what you're saying, right? First and foremost, where's his mother? Where's his father? Why is he out walking to a store in a dangerous neighborhood, going to get snacks when he probably should have already have eaten, when his parents should have probably have already cooked for him, when he should already be in bed, sleep, getting ready for school. So clearly, the parents are not making school a responsibility. Not a responsibility, but a priority is what I meant to say. The parents are not making this a priority. There's a lot of stuff wrong with this. Then one has to question, what did the cousin think was going to happen when you pull out a pellet gun and shoot it at somebody in a damn car? What did you think was going to happen? Come on, we're not dumb. If this cousin has watched any level of movies or know anything about what goes on in a lot of these violent communities, which this could potentially be one, then what do you think is going to happen when you shoot a projectile at somebody's car? He got shot from standing on his front porch of his home after 9 p.m. The 7th grader was struck by at least 2 rounds and collapsed in the doorway. He was rushed to Bridgeport Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Family members say that Clinton, Family members say that Clinton was a happy child who stayed out of trouble, loved food, and video games. Instead of him loving food and video games, and staying out of trouble is obviously an important thing, I would have loved to hear that he loved education as opposed to loving food and loving video games. I would start loving for us to be known for this thing whenever we talk about our sisters are the most educated. Let's start hearing about our children being the most educated. How about that? Yes, there is a GoFundMe. Put a pin in that. We're going to come back to it. The cousins should be locked up too. I 100% agree. The only thing that they could say about him was they said he loved food and video games. Guys, I am not making this up. I'm going to let you hear from the father. How many of you guys want to hear from the father? If you do, hit the thumbs up for me. Some have been sharing videos on Facebook showing the boy opening Christmas presents last year. This is coming from the father, and I have a video of the father. And he says he loves to eat. He loves his snacks. He loves to eat. He loves his snacks. The father's name is Clinton Howell. Carlton Howell, Howell. Said about his own son, he loved to eat, he loves his snacks. Don't you guys think that's sad if that's all they got to say about this kid at 12 years old? Do you guys know how much awesome stuff I could say about my daughter at 11 years old? Even in just a few words, I could say a ton of stuff about my daughter. And it seems like all they had to say about him was he loved his snacks and he loved to eat. Guys, I'm not trying to poke any kind of fun at this young man. But this is what the father and the family members are saying. I think that's horrible. Now, the father said this outside a memorial of the home on Wednesday evening. He says he went to the store on the corner and bought his honey bun, pastries, and a juice. He comes back and there's a drive-by and he's shot. Let's say that again. The father said he went to the store on the corner and bought his honey buns and a juice. And when this drive-by occurred, he was still standing on the porch. Come on, people. Megan, No Brass, Davon, Andre Bay, True Queen, Miss June Bennett, Yo-Yo Marie, CJ. Thank you, Miss June Bennett. That's also important. Does anybody see anything wrong with this? They reiterated this and said he went to the corner store and bought honey buns because he loved his food and loved his snacks, and bought a juice and came back home, stood on the porch and was shot because his cousin took a pellet gun and shot it at a car and they came back with a real gun. So let me ask you guys this. In conjunction with this young man, where was he? Was he with his cousin, and did he see his cousin shoot this pellet gun at this car? The car left and came back and shot at the dude. As a 12-year-old, if you see your cousin do something stupid, why would you hang around to see what the ending result is going to be? Everybody catch that? If everybody knows that a pellet gun was shot, my question is who saw it? If people saw it or told this story, number one, why is the cousin not being arrested and implicated in this for causing all of this to happen? And number two, if this young man saw this happen after he was going to go buy his honey bun snacks and he loved food and loved snacks so much, number one, why would he still be outside? And number two, why would he have been outside at 9 p.m. on a school night standing on the front porch after this bull crap just happened? Now, Chambers has been in jail since December the 19th, which was the day after when he was arrested on an unrelated charge of second-degree assault and second-degree breach of peace stemming from an October 12th attack on a 16-year-old boy at Central High School. So Tajay Chambers is known for attacking people younger than him, apparently. In that incident, police say Chambers and two other juveniles punched the victim in the head and then kicked him down a flight of stairs. We're talking about an illegal immigrant. We're going to talk about that also. Now, the judge set Chambers' bond at $500,000, and ICE or ICE put a detainer on him because the Jamaican national has been living in the U.S. with a visa. So clearly, they're getting ready to send his ass back to where he's from. He's expected to be arraigned on charges in the Howell case on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Howell's older brother, Gamel Dawkins, which is Gameldawkins, his older brother, meaning they have different fathers. Uh-oh. Are we starting to see a pattern? If we got 210 people here, hit the thumbs up. It'll share the show and let other people know that we're live. We're almost done. They said, meanwhile, Howell's older brother, Gamel or Jamel, I don't know how you say that, Gamel Dawkins, Dawkins, meaning he has a different brother, two different fathers by the same woman, right? We all know that narrative. He launched a GoFundMe campaign to pay for the boy's funeral, writing in the description that his younger sibling was full of life and joy and was looking forward to celebrating Christmas, followed by his 13th birthday, which was on January the 13th. Excuse me. So if you guys want to see the GoFundMe, let me get this up on the screen for you guys so you guys can see where the GoFundMe currently is. That's currently where the GoFundMe is. Because why have insurance when you can have a GoFundMe page? What's the point of having insurance as long as black people can throw up a GoFundMe and white people will turn around and throw money into it? Right? Because it's damn sure not our people throwing the money in there. That we know for a fact. Billy Goat Gruff said they got a pair of Jordans and a juice next to the candles. That speaks volumes. Anyway, guys, they're asking for $25,000. Right? $25,000, and as of today, in 8 days, they've collected $23,180. So it sounds like they're going to be okay with regard to how much they're collecting. Now, while they're asking for that much, well, I don't know. How about we take a look at this, and how about we just ask the question and find out why they're asking for so much on the GoFundMe. Here's their answer. Clinton was a very good person. He was loved by everyone that encountered him, and he was full of life and joy. I'm glad they got the punctuation correct. He loved school and video games, specifically Fortnite. They spelled specifically wrong, but that's okay. He always loved being around his family and being a big uncle to his 2-year-old nephew. That's okay. Let's keep going. We'll put a pin in that. Clinton never associated himself, which is wrong. It should be himself. Never associated himself with negative peers. He stayed to himself and just started to make friends in middle school. So we have a punctuation problem here, but it's okay. We're going to read through it. He was coming from the store when this unfortunate situation took place. He just wanted snacks. He just wanted snacks from the corner store like he does every day. Jesus Christ. Every day? He just wanted snacks from the corner store like he does every day. He was ready for the upcoming holidays, and he was also looking forward to his 13th birthday, which is on January the 13th. We would love to ask if anyone can give anything we would appreciate, which is also incorrect grammar. We know it's the holidays and it may be hard, so anything will contribute. Thank you very much. Sounds like a third grader wrote that. to be honest with you. That's bad. So, again, we can't even get a person to write a decent GoFundMe for $100. If you're going to get $25,000, take $100 of it and pay somebody to write this GoFundMe for you guys. I'm sorry, but I am absolutely tired of our people begging and asking for $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 of money and won't even take time to write it properly. I think that's horrible. I could just be being an asshole, okay? But that's my opinion. Now, he's expected to be arraigned on charges in the Howell case. Meanwhile, Howell's older brother launched a GoFundMe, and you guys just saw that. And as of Tuesday, they had raised about, or Wednesday, they raised about $23,000. They're gonna pretty much get it. Now, there were a couple of comments that were left. There were a couple of comments that were left on the GoFundMe, and some people said things like this. Some people said that this was an opportunity wasted. And what they're talking about is the gentleman that was in this country illegally, which is Tajay Chambers. It's an opportunity wasted. And it definitely does not look good on the rest of illegal immigrants trying to force their way into this country, and then they're going to turn around and live. Like, how can you expect a person? I'm asking a real question. How can we expect for people that are going to enter our country illegally to live a legal lifestyle? Can anybody in my comment section or in the chat answer that question for me? For the people that think that Donald Trump should not be trying to prevent these people from getting into our country illegally, I'll ask this question. How can we expect for people that are going to enter our country illegally and are telling us they don't give a damn about our border laws to live legal, law-abiding lives? Put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. Someone also said, so stupid, instead of finding someone to give him legal status so he can get a job and go to school. No wonder the government is tightening up on immigrants trying to make their way into the USA. There are so many opportunities in this country. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and show the fair usage, and then we're going to go ahead and get this thing started with regard to the only couple of news articles that showed up. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And the people that donated, we have a couple more people that donated. I'm going to read those right after this news story, okay? So if anybody wants to hit those links that Miss June Bennett and others are posting, just select one of those and put anything 4 quarters and above in there. It'll support the show. So thank you guys.
We continue to follow that breaking news in Bridgeport, where 4 people are under arrest in connection with the deadly shooting of 12-year-old Clinton Howell. Howell was walking home last week when he was shot and killed outside of his family's duplex. Bridgeport police plan to charge 18-year-old Tajay Chambers with murder and 3 other juveniles ranging in age from 12 to 16. Chambers was already in custody on an unrelated assault charge. The Bridgeport police captain describing what led to the killing.
They're driving around in a stolen vehicle, and there was some ongoing dispute between the males that were in the car and some other males that lived on Willow Street. At some point, the males in the stolen car drove over to that area. Some words were exchanged, and at one point, Mr. Chambers fired a handgun twice at people that were approaching the porch of 289 Willow Street and struck Mr. Howell, Clinton Howell.
You can get updates on this breaking news story.
Let's keep going. And also, by the way, to let you guys know, I do have a video of the father, and I want y'all to make sure and see that here. It's coming up just a second. If y'all would, hit that thumbs up. It'll share the show and let other people know that we're live. So hit that thumbs up, please. So the news hasn't been broadcast yet. Yo, yes, it has, but I'm just talking about as far as this being like a like a story that you can find pretty easily. It was only like in the local news. This was not like a headline.
12-year-old boy being shot and killed last week. News 8's Mario Boone was in Bridgeport today. And Mario, there was supposed to be a court appearance of a suspect today. That didn't happen for some reason. Do we know why?
Well, only one suspect's case wasn't heard today, Scott. Police say it's due to the holiday. Meanwhile, cops tell me the suspect's single.
Let me see if I can back this up just a little bit. Guys, I want to point out something. What do y'all notice on my screen? This is a little bit funny. Let's be a little bit comical for a moment. Let's try to lighten the mood a little bit. I'm just saying, Mario Boone, if you're going to be on TV, then, you know, they have this thing called Invisalign. They have this thing called Lumineers. They have this thing called braces. I'm just saying, man, it looked like somebody kicked in like a wooden fence, and that wooden fence being his damn teeth in his mouth. Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'm seriously like, damn. Like, if y'all look, like, it's like his teeth are like this in his mouth. Like, they're literally throwing up like gang gang in his mouth. Like, am I being a jerk for saying that? I'm sorry, but golly, like, how you gonna be on TV on a news station and they won't even at least try to, you know, put something on you getting your grill fixed? Lord have mercy. Jeez. Wow. Like somebody was throwing darts at his mouth. I mean, I'm sorry, but like when I saw that, I was just like, this is what his teeth is doing. Like, jeez. Sorry. I know they ain't got nothing to do with this story. I just thought it was funny. Shout out to the black man. Shout out Black Power on TV and all that good stuff. But Lord have mercy, son. You got to do something about that mouth. Somebody does. We need to get a GoFundMe for this dude's grill. Can we get a grill GoFundMe going? I'm going to put up a GoFundMe for this dude's grill. How about that? Jeez.
For some reason,
he's natural. That's not natural to have your teeth like falling back into the back of your throat. That's not natural.
do we know why?
Well, only one suspect's case wasn't heard today, Scott. Police say it's due to the holiday. Meanwhile, cops tell me the suspects singing like birds about each other's roles, helping investigators uncover the motive in this terrible tragedy. A postponed court date Wednesday for the accused killer of a 12-year-old Bridgeport boy led to confusion and frustration for the victim's family gathered outside the courthouse.
Because of the holiday, they're a day behind.
That means 18-year-old illegal immigrant Tajay Chambers must wait another day to be arraigned. 3 other juvenile accomplices did have their cases heard, but our cameras were not allowed. Meanwhile, Police Chief A.J. Perez doubled down on what News 8 first told you last week. Clinton Howell was not the intended target.
They wanted to shoot someone. That's the intent. As senseless as it is.
Perez also revealed new details about what led to the deadly drive-by shooting, an argument between the suspects and Clinton's cousin.
A car pulled up. Clinton's cousin went over to the car and the words exchanged.
Investigators said Clinton's cousin brandished a BB gun before the suspects drove off, only to return moments later.
And the shooter shot twice.
Chambers is well known to investigators. In fact, he had an outstanding arrest warrant for assault at the time of Clinton's killing. Despite that, federal authorities only now placing a detainer to deport Chambers back to his home country of Jamaica.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's the way it is.
Of course, now deportation must wait until his criminal troubles in this case conclude. Now, the family has created a GoFundMe page to help with the funeral expenses here. We have posted a link to the GoFundMe account on our site, WTNH.com.
Oh my God, man. I'm sorry, but Come on, man. Like, if you're going to be on TV, I think that there should definitely be like a looks criteria. Like, it seems like he speaks very properly, which I think is cool. You know, he's clean shaven, you know, got nice glasses. But when your grill look like somebody just knocked a bunch of, just took some dominoes and just glued them inside your mouth in any type of direction, I just think something's wrong with that. Like, I just think that there should be a teeth qualification before you're allowed to be on the news station, I think. Personally, got a makeup team. You should have like a teeth team. Get some Photoshop or something. Sheesh.
This story doesn't get any easier to tell, but at least one chapter, so to speak, of closure is being announced today by the Bridgeport Police Department.
A very good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Amy Hudak. New tonight, police making 4 arrests this Christmas Eve in the tragic shooting death of a 12-year-old boy in Bridgeport. We're also just now learning one of the 4 facing charges is in the U.S. illegally. 18-year-old Tajay Chambers is from Jamaica and here without legal status. A judge held him on $5,000 bond. ICE authorities have also placed
Originally, they were holding him on $5,000 bond. That's ridiculous. Wow. Originally on a $5,000 bond when he was just also charged with kicking and beating somebody and kicked him down a flight of stairs. This dude don't give a damn about no American opportunities. I want y'all to think about that while y'all are talking about these border jumpers and y'all are trying to advocate for them to come into the United States when they're clearly telling you guys they don't give a damn about the law. I want y'all to think about that. $5,000 man, come on.
18-year-old Tajay Chambers is from Jamaica and here without legal status. A judge held him on $5,000 bond. ICE authorities have also placed a detainer on Chambers. Police say they plan on charging him with murder. The 3 other suspects are also all teens. They range from 12 to 16 years old. Police say they are all connected to the death of Clinton Howell. Howell was coming home from the store last week after picking up snacks from a convenience store when he was shot on his front porch.
They're driving around in a stolen vehicle, and there was some ongoing dispute between the males that were in the car and some other males that lived on Willow Street. At some point, the males in the stolen car drove over to that area. Some words were exchanged, and at one point, Mr. Chambers fired a handgun twice at people that were approaching the porch of 289 Willow Street and struck Mr. Howell, Clinton Howell.
The 18-year-old was already in custody on an unrelated assault charge.
So he was already in jail on an unrelated assault charge. So you guys heard that. Hashtag where's the father? Hashtag where's the father? Well, guess what, guys? The father in this case, let me get his name back up on my screen. Let's see if I can find him. His name is Clinton Howell. Clinton Howell. This is the father on the right-hand side of the screen. I did as best as I could. I literally did not do this story yesterday just to try to spend more time and gather as much information as I possibly could. This is the only thing I could find on the entire internet on the father. And it was a video that somebody recorded. This is the father. Listen to him.
He don't. He's a good kid. I never hear nobody say Clinton mash their feet. He's a good kid. Yo, he don't live no life yet. Why they gotta take him away from us? Why? It's crazy.
That was the father. I'm gonna mute that music because I don't want to get flagged for that. I've actually gotten flagged for silly things like that. But this is the father. This is Clinton Howell, from my understanding. I could be wrong. Yes, this is in Connecticut. Guys, we're about to wrap up. So if you haven't already done so, hit the thumbs up. This is the father. And it sounds like he has, it sounds like he's Jamaican. It sounds like he has an accent. Listen to it again, and we're going to go and get up out of here.
He don't. He's a good kid. I never hear nobody say Clinton mash their feet. He's a good kid. Yeah. He don't. He's a good kid. I never hear nobody say Clinton mash their feet. He's a good kid. Yeah.
I think y'all can hear that accent. That accent. I don't know if any of this is related because Tajay Chambers is also from Jamaica. I don't know if the father here is from Jamaica. I don't know if this is all like a Jamaican related thing, if they all knew each other, but it makes you wonder though.
He don't. He's a good kid. I never hear nobody say Clinton mash their feet. He's a good kid.
I heard that too. Chris V said mash their feet. I'm assuming like step on somebody's shoe or something like that. I'm assuming. I don't know what that means. It's typical Jamaican. Okay, I'm going to trust y'all word on that.
He don't. He's a good kid. I never hear nobody say Clinton mash their feet. He's a good kid. Yeah. He don't live no life yet. Why they got to take him away from us? Why? It's crazy.
He said he hadn't even lived any life yet. Why they had to take him away? Well, like I said, man, I'll tell you guys just like this. And I'm going to pause it on his photo right here. I think this is a great place to stop. In my opinion, the reason why this continues to happen, whether these people are, legally in our country or illegally in our country, I believe that these young black looking men, what we would consider to be black men, continue to keep killing each other and continue to keep shooting at others indiscriminately. And the reason why they don't see value in other people's lives and they don't see any value in their future, they don't see any value in the American dream or anything like that, is because they do not have the DNA, the biological father in their homes with the mother showing them the yin and the yang and the push and the pull, the balance mentally, spiritually, emotionally that they need in order to be productive citizens in this particular country, in this world, period. They don't see any value in themselves, so they will not in turn see any value in the rest of the world and the rest of the businesses and the rest of people and their families. This thing is going to continue to keep going until we stop and say, let's stop producing kids. Let's stop having babies for benefits. Whoever is in charge of that process, fathers, men, brothers, even the boys, stop providing your seeds to people that you are not going to be married to. These women clearly are not being responsible with your seed, so you have to be responsible with your seed. To our sisters, I'll say that you have an innate gift, the gift of life. If you're going to receive a seed from a man, be responsible with that seed and do not procreate unless you are willing to have a marriage with that man. Get married. If you're not going to get married, don't have the children. I hate that this thing continues to be a theme, but we're going to continue to keep advocating for children first here at the So Do You Dig. We're going to black purge ourselves from the trash of our communities, and we hope that things will get better as long as we continue to keep speaking this message of love and positivity. I want to thank you guys so much for coming through to the show. That is the end of the show, guys. Thank you guys so much.